Okay, so if you watch my other videos, which clearly you all have been, I could forgive you for thinking that I don't like much, but I assure you I have a fully functioning CPU, heart, just like the rest of you humans. But I like things, I love things, lots of things, and one of those things is the Bioshock franchise, or more accurately, the Ken Levine Bioshock franchise. Bioshock 2 being an outsourced and misbranded game that had the uneasy feeling of someone showing up to dinner wearing your girlfriend's skin and asking for a kiss. So the topic of this week is, despite the impressive sales and critical praise of Bioshock Infinite, the game's developer, Irrational Studios, has dismissed the bulk of its staff and restructured itself to be around 15 people. Take-Two retains the right to pump out games in the Bioshock series, and Ken Levine, the auteur of the Bioshock franchise, says that he and Irrational Studios will be making smaller, more narratively focused games. The initial response to this is, of course, boo! Bioshock Infinite is one of my favorite games ever, and if you haven't played it, stop watching this, because I'm going to spoil some stuff, and then play it, and then watch this video again, preferably several dozen times. The industry has changed forever. The mid-level games have gone the way of the Cowboys championship seasons, just ask THQ, and the game is either a multi-million-dollar empire of production or a smaller indie title funded entirely by pocket change and hugs from the creative director's mom. And when a publisher pours hundreds of millions of dollars into a game's development, they expect to see Grand Theft Auto 5 level returns for it. And when a company sees 12-foot-tall neon dollar signs, they're not going to worry too much about what the artist's vision was for the game. When a project is independently funded, the artistic vision is all there is. That's why the product was conceived. That's why the product was produced. Just because business and art have coexisted together for generations doesn't mean that they're actually a natural fit. Profit allows an artist to focus exclusively on making his art. That's why Steven Spielberg doesn't have to manage a Denny's in between shooting movies about heroic horses. And art provides a company with a product to sell and make money. The two sides will never have the same objective. And neither side is wrong, but each side is always going to fight to protect its own interests, and that's really all that's happened here. Bioshock Infinite made an insane amount of money, but it wasn't enough. Ken Levine had a choice. Stay on the big money level of game development and let corporate continually try to put chocolate in his peanut butter, or return to the smaller level of game production that he pretty much owned in the late 90s and early 2000s when he was making great games like System Shock 2 and the insanely underrated Freedom Force franchise. If Irrational stayed the size it was, the reality is they would have been told to make more Bioshock games because Bioshock games are financially successful. So Levine could look forward to spending the next 10 years of his life the same way it spent the last 10 years, with Bioshock. That's cool with me. I love Bioshock games, but I get to play other games in the 5 years between Bioshock games. For Ken Levine, there's only Bioshock while developing Bioshock. I kind of see the end of Bioshock Infinite as a metaphor for the career of Ken Levine. Trapped in an elaborate and impressive caricature of a good idea, he's going to tell the same story over and over again. He'll change a city, he'll change the Elizabeth allegory, and he'll change a Booker allegory. There'll be a different dictator and a different ideology, and in the end it'll all go horribly wrong. But it will always start with a lighthouse. And that to me seems like a true version of hell for an artist. Chained to your own idea to slowly sink and be crushed by it. Letting those unproduced ideas die with you because your early success bound you to profit over the artistic integrity that gave you that initial success. I give 2K credit. They kept Ken Levine on and they seem to be giving him the autonomy to do the projects his own way. And I hope they stand by that. 2K will continue to make Bioshock games to make more money, and I don't blame them because making money is what companies do. They could do the artistically cool thing and make Bioshock a sort of anthology series where different creators come on to tell their own stories about their own cities and a girl and a hero, but I suspect it's much more likely that we'll get a disappointing Bioshock Infinite 2. I'll mourn Bioshock, but the service will be brief. There are plenty other worlds for me to explore, and girls to save, and dictators to topple. I support you, Ken. Best of luck. Just go ahead and give me a title for your next game so I can go out and pre-order the damn thing. That's all I have to say, and holy shit, it was nerdy. And a little sad.
GV Mark IV Protective System for use in hazardous environment conditions. High impact reactive